So my takeaways for this game is just overall bad game. They're better than this. I think that the team as a whole was just trying their best to implement what the coaching staff has told them all season long with no adjustments at all. I mean, taking 44 threes and just waiting for it to start going is a horrible strategy. If it's not going, get to the paint, and you have the ability to do so. I thought that Mitch Johnson and the coaching staff tried their best to attack in the paint, right? Every chance they got. They were like, oh, this is a mismatch for Harrison Barnes, and he fumbled it. Oh, this is a mismatch for Zach Collins, and he fumbled it. They had Keldon Johnson try to attack the paint. They tried everything they possibly could, but the one person that absolutely needed to and had success in it within like a 3-minute time frame was Wemby, but Wemby decided to steer away from that. So I have no idea. But I expect Mitch Johnson to be pretty critical. All right, hold on, let me make this big. All right, let's listen. Oop. Pull it back. They're better than this, by the way. I don't think the Spurs are a bad team. I think they're better than this.
Did you feel like your team got something out of the experience of playing in a game like this?
Got something out of the experience of, yeah. I think it was good that they got their teeth kicked in a game like this.
Or something.
For sure. I thought
I wasn't being sarcastic.
I thought our defensive effort was really good. We turned the ball over. We missed a lot of shots. Both those things will put pressure on your defense, and I thought it held up well. If you would have told me we would have held the Suns to 104 points, I'd feel pretty good about that.
Victor came up holding his back.
That's true. That's something I didn't talk about enough. Our defense was great, but our defense has been great. We're a top team in the NBA in that. You can always lean your hat on that. That's why I didn't understand at least starting Sohan to set the tone, right? To help set the tone, but hey, whatever.
Any comment on that? Or is there any update on his status?
No, I think he got hit on that one play, but I mean, he finished the game. We just took him out at the end for that last play, so I haven't talked or heard anything, but I think.
So doesn't have no major concern?
No.
Coach, when you
Okay, so it sounds like Wemby's okay. If you guys were wondering, Wemby's okay.
have a shooting game like this, is it something that you just want to flush, or is there things you can take away from it, from tonight specifically?
Hopefully we make more shots next game. I think to be down 4 points going into the fourth quarter, and in the game in the fourth quarter, I think was a testament to some other things that are good takeaways. They had 2 offensive rebounds. They didn't have a 30-point quarter.
Anyone else pissed Keldon took so many threes in the fourth? I thought Keldon was fine this game. I brought that up, when we were talking about it, the post game, but I didn't like it, right? But at the same time, they took like 700 of them, so I don't know.
Again, when your offense is struggling like that, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense, and our defense withstood a lot tonight.
And by the way, Keldon isn't a finisher, right? He shouldn't finish games for the most part, most of the time, unless he's hot, which happened the game previous. But yeah.
So I think that would be the takeaway.
And what does Devin's downhill scoring and playmaking kind of meant for you guys?
Yeah, he's done it since he's been here. So as he continues to get in better shape and we get healthier and get continuity, we think that'll continue to be at the forefront for us.
What do you think clicked for Victor at the start of the third quarter, and why do you think he couldn't sustain it outside of obviously just kind of a poor shooting night for him?
Wait. Hold on. Let me hear that again. All right. Direct question about Wemby.
Need to be at the forefront for us.
What do you think clicked for Victor at the start of the third quarter, and why do you think he couldn't sustain it outside of obviously just kind of a poor shooting night for him?
Yeah. What was that? I mean, he started off the third quarter. For me, from what I've seen, he just steered away from going into the paint, right? He went back into facilitation Wemby mode, which is fine when you're getting double teamed, but I think that his initial go-to should be, okay, I'm going to attack. Like, that should be the initial reaction. I'm going to take over until they stop me. And once they stop me, then my boys are going to start draining. That's what I would like. But, it's fine. Wishful thinking on my part. And the team has been playing very well with Wemby, doing that. So, pause. Yeah, I know. I knew when I said it.
I think he was very intentional on establishing himself in the paint and got some stuff around the rim.
Uh-huh.
And I think that got him going.
Is that something you talked about at halftime?
Oh, that was a good way of avoiding that, guys. Listen to the question again, and then listen to how he answered it.
He couldn't sustain it outside of. What do you think clicked for Victor at the start of the third quarter, and why do you think he couldn't sustain it outside of obviously just kind of a poor shooting night for him?
He just told you. So he ended up telling you the reason why he couldn't sustain it is because look, I'm just a fan, okay? I'm just on my couch, all right? I'm just a fan. But from what I saw, it was all just Wemby. That's what I saw. It was all just Wemby. It started off with Wemby attacking, getting to the paint, doing his thing, and it was nothing that the Suns did differently that forced him to not continue to do that. That's what I saw.
I think he was very intentional on establishing himself in the paint and got some stuff around the rim. And I think that got him going.
Is that something you talked about at halftime? Let's try to get him to the basket.
Yeah. And that's all the time,
Yeah.
right? We always try to mix it up, but that's where we definitely want to set a tone.
All right. I think that was a good game not to be too critical of
On establishing himself in.
I think this was a good game not to be too critical of Wemby. I mean, obviously we're going to, right? As fans, we're going to. And I mean, I'm going to. But, I think it's good for the coaching staff or, our coach right now, our main coach, to not be critical, especially when, and not in public, because it was such a bad loss and everyone plays so poorly. There's no reason of, putting gasoline on the flames. There's really no reason for it. But in a game where we did fairly well, you could probably nitpick a little bit, right? Because you could say he played so great, but you got to work on these things and it doesn't sting as hard. But in a game like this, where everyone was so dreadful and Wemby was so god awful to his standards, mind you, that I think it is good for the coach not to be too crazy. Agree from the coach's perspective? Yeah, from the coach's perspective, there's no point. I mean, he answered that. He answered the question, right? He answered in a very smart way. He answered the question. He didn't have to go with the follow-up of, why he couldn't keep it. You just answered the question of why he was successful, and now you know why he couldn't keep that up, or why he wasn't successful later. He was intentional about getting into the. You can tell he's pretty irritated with the team. Like, it's very obvious. And I want to just be like, it's so much easier to be like, oh, I wish the coaches would have done this. I thought the rotation was a little strange to only play 4 of our guys off the bench. And if you're going to continue to take as many threes as we did, not to at least try Mamu or Malachi Branham when the team was playing so poorly from 3. I thought that was a little strange. So that's the only critique I have there. But to the coach's credit, they were attempting to get to the paint. Right? They were making an attempt. It's just Collins and Barnes. They just can't do it. Or they couldn't do it in this game. It was awful. So, yeah, the 2 missed dunks was crazy. Yeah, you talking about the Sohan missed dunk and then the Keldon missed dunk? I chalked up the Sohan missed dunk as just him being, just now getting back. I was afraid that Sohan would be a little protective over that finger, his thumb, but he was not, dude. He was just playing like he normally does. We need a second post guy. We need Wemby to be able to pull out his post game bag, okay? We know he has it. I've seen it. We know he has it. He's not the strongest guy in the world, but we know Wemby got it. You don't score. It's not normal to score. Hold on. Go back to this game for 1 second, and then I'll end this segment. This is not normal, okay? Well, I guess he wasn't really posting up necessarily. I think it was only 1 post up. most of it was him just, getting set up. But he was just more aggressive getting into the paint. First 3 minutes, man, layup and one. Tip shot, alley-oop, dunk. I mean, he came out another alley-oop. Like, he came out swinging. And then it just dissipated into nothingness. Dude, the lime green hair is terrible. Rodman Jr. He needs to just braid it. I think it'll look cool. It'll look fine if it's braided. He's doing it because he's developing the shot. It's development year. I'm just saying, you got to make an adjustment in the middle of this game, man. You can't just keep hitting your head on a wall. And you can tell during halftime something was said because they changed the game plan. But like, the players have to make those adjustments mid-game. The coach can't do everything. I miss Pop too. Julian shot horribly. Everyone shot horribly. I'm not the best at math, but guys, you take Devin Vassell out of this game. What the heck do our percentages look like? I mean, what the heck? The 3-point percent, what the heck? What is that? You take that out, what is that? That's 7? 8%? Am I crazy? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not great at math. I don't know. What's your starting lineup look like in a couple weeks? Oh, it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's Chris Paul, Steph Castle, well, it'll be Chris Paul, in my opinion. Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Steph Castle, Sohan, and then Wemby. There we go. Worst shooting game in franchise history if you take out Vassell. That just shows how good Vassell is, man. Also, wasn't aware that we were third best free throw shooting team in the league. Pretty interesting. All right.